I'll be performing, I don't have stage fright. I give you head for me, for you, the morning. Breaking back, baby, just one. Let me get on the phone, swearing things like a pro. Open the door, let me know, neighbors peep, give up a shot. Yeah, I'm nasty like that. Just how you like it, don't. Just let me take if you want. You say you play for the time. Just never get too down. All you want to time. You ain't got to see the sun. You got everything to you want. You can go and get it down. All you want to time. Just let me take if you want. You say you play for the club. Just never get too down. All you want to time.
All right, we back after some technical difficulties. I think we're going to be all right now. Had to have my IT guy, our IT guy, come by and show us a few things. So we're back in the house. We're ready to go. Mike and Mike at night. Mike and Mike at late night. This time, we're getting the late start on it today, but we bouncing back. You know, there's always some things that you're going to have to account for and look at. But fortunately, we had all hands on deck and were able to take care of it. So back where we were at, we know a lot of you guys were not able to hear us. So we had to check that sound. The soundboard was, doing a few things, had a mind of its own a little bit. But I think maybe the topic was just getting a little bit too hot. Yeah. And the computer said, nah, hold on. But anyway, so to pick up kind of where we left off, for those of you that were able to hear us, we were talking about how it is that you do attract someone of the opposite sex. Because, again, we are talking about relationships on 2 for Tuesdays. Mike and Mike at night, make sure you share the link and follow us. We are seeing that, or we did say that, you have to look or build yourself or make yourself more of an attractive person. And Jessica, we have Jessica Bell here. We also have Mike White, my co-host and the guest for today. And she was saying something. How did you put that? That was you saying that we have to?
I said that you had to know yourself before you could actually be in a true relationship with someone else.
Okay.
And so what I meant by that is knowing yourself. Like, know whether that's mental health, whether that's spiritual health, whether that's physical health. Date yourself and get to know who you are before you try to blend that to be complete with someone else. You can't be complete if you're incomplete.
Okay.
Hey, I agree with her 100%. That's huge. I'm a Christian man, and coming from that faith, that's one of the things that we learn. You got to know yourself. You got to know those imprints, those things that make you tick, because you can't put that on your new spouse or the person you're in a new relationship. If you put that on them, your relationship's going to last, because all they're going to do is trigger you, and you're not going to know why you're being triggered by things.
Okay. I like to say, I had a concept, and I want you guys to throw this around with me a little bit. And if you guys out there can hear me, I want you guys to chime in on this as well. That a relationship, I believe, is built on 2 different elements. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, understand that I'm not saying it's love. I'm not saying love. I'm saying a relationship. Mm-hmm. I can have a relationship with my job. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? But I cannot love my job. Mm-hmm. So I think a relationship is built on 2 main factors that must exist for there to be a relationship. And what those 2 are is time and money. Mm-hmm. I think time and money have to be existent in a relationship. If there is no time or no money, there can't be a relationship. Do you guys agree, or I mean, if you guys want to shoot it, take some shots at it, go ahead.
Because time and money don't mean nothing if you ain't got no love. And to me, if you were talking about relationships with other people, I mean, even if you got to love your job, because if you don't love your job, you're going to go there and do a half job. You ain't gonna do 100%.
I know what you wanted to say, but I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So you don't think it requires now again, I don't want you to confuse love with the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying a relationship, not love.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think love requires some other things, but we'll get into that another day. But I'm saying just to have a relationship, there has to be time and money. If we take our job, for instance,
But
we
how-
spend time
Yeah.
there and they give us money. Go ahead.
You can't have a relationship without love,
Yeah.
because then what is it? How does a relationship truly exist without love, even if it's horrible?
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to have love to have that relationship. I think
Okay.
about it like this. Not that I'm just like holier than thou, but if I have a relationship with Christ and I'm, just a horrible person, that is not going to change the love that Christ has for me. There's patience that
Yeah.
comes along with that. So I don't really think that you can have a relationship without having love, despite how it looks.
Okay. I'm gonna.
I mean, you
I'm
can,
gonna,
but it
yeah,
ain't gonna-
yeah. You
It
definitely.
ain't
can.
gonna be worth it.
It's,
I mean,
and I'm
you-
not like I said.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Yeah. You.
That's a happenstance.
Yeah.
That's a happenship.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a relationship.
That's back in the day we used to call that's a booty call, homie.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. I mean,
that's what it is.
I see where you guys are getting at. However, when I look at a relationship, I see the exchange of time or money in in essence to get along or to achieve some type of goal.
Mhm.
I know that there are people, and there are going to be people that get in right now and chime in. There are people that go to work every day and do not love their job.
Mhm.
I know people who have worked a job for 15 years,
Mhm.
20 years,
Yeah.
and they did not love their job.
Yeah.
If you ask them why they were there, why do you think most people go to work?
Because they had to get paid.
And they have to keep their bills paid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually
So-
really love my job.
Oh, and you're one of the fair exceptions.
Yeah.
However, and we want to thank Think Plenty for coming in here. How can I put this? I think it's hard for us to look at relationships without looking at the love aspect. Because love, I believe, is a lifestyle. It's not an emotion.
It's love is not an emotion. It's something that you have to do. It's something that it's not automatic. You have to choose to love somebody,
Okay.
and you have to go there. But it gets you emotional. And
Okay.
that's,
Are you guys
Makes you-
talking about love in the sense of, because I don't know what type of love that is, because every time I think of love, as wretched as I am sometimes, I think of Christ.
mhm.
Okay? And so in that sense, I don't know what you mean by it's what did you call it?
Emotion.
An emotion.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an emotion, but that's not the only thing it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sacrifice. It's
you're saying a relationship
joy,
or
it's
love?
Love.
Oh, okay. Now, when we're talking about, see, it's hard for me, and I know there's people out there as well that might not share that. So that's why I want to include everybody, because not everybody's going to be like, oh, well, yeah, I believe in Christ, and I have this. I've experienced no greater love than what I have from Christ. But they do. Everybody who is out there listening, they have been in a relationship. Okay, so I mean, there are believers that say, okay, well, the love that Christ has for me, I get that. But on a more basic level, because it's hard to appeal to someone who doesn't believe in that.
Okay,
So
well,
on
then
a
don't
more-
put love in it in that sense then, because
Okay.
I don't know how else to relate.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
like the universe for some. Like, I don't know how to relate to that because I
Okay.
don't define my love by the universe and what the stars say.
okay,
I define
okay.
it based off of what Christ has said.
Oh, I mean, I
So-
get that.
So she's saying she ain't going all high. What's it called? What's it called?
The hieroglyphics?
No, horoscope.
Oh, okay.
And she ain't going secular. She doing her love off of agape.
Okay.
Which is Christ-like love.
Okay,
undying
and
love.
I get that.
Yeah.
and I
that's
get that.
You know, when he calls my name, love.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean-
and when Christ calls my name and I give my mention Roman crown love.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if we're
Okay,
not
I
going to
get
talk about
that.
that love, we just, put it right, that's where I stand.
okay, and I get that.
And everybody may not, but for those who do, okay, if those who don't,
Right.
I
try to
knee
be-
shall bow, every tongue shall confess.
I try to be fair though, because we have we have people out there that aren't there yet. So I don't necessarily want to make them feel like, you know what, well, this must be we're going to sit up here and talk about God and Christ. It's not that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But there are people who aren't there yet.
And I
So
respect that. I'm
would
not
we
saying,
say
like,
that those people aren't able to experience love?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just
Okay,
saying this
okay.
is where I stand personally.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, because this is us personally, but yeah, I think people are able to experience love, and that there's been, there's people out there that love their family members, that love the person that they're with, but in our concept, once you have found Christ, it's hard to separate the two, and so that's what we're trying to say.
Okay,
but and I get what you're saying, but where you're coming from with it, but that's kind of where I think we're on the same page, right, with that.
Okay, I understand that. This is one thing I want to ask the question in, and I kind of want to take us in a different direction with this one.
All right.
Then why are we having so many? And I don't want the good canned answer because Jesus ain't in the middle of it.
Divorce
why
is
are we
in the
having,
church.
Exactly.
Divorce is in the church.
And why do we also have so many problems out here with men and women getting along within a relationship?
This is why. The reason why is,
In your estimation.
in my estimation, and based
Okay.
off of like what I've been through personally, the reason why people have those issues, whether it's with family members, whether it's with your spouse, whether you remarried, is because anytime, and I'm speaking only for myself,
Okay.
anytime you take God out of any picture
Okay.
within your life, that's for me,
Okay.
things are not going to go as planned because you cannot take God out of it and expect it to work. Now, that's just me. Now, does that mean that I'm not going to drop an F-bomb? No, didn't say that. I am saying that to me, this world was built on a foundation. Obviously, the fall of man is the cause of many of these not so great things about life, right? But my thing is, any time that I take that piece out of my life, Christ out of my life, and that my household is not read on Christ, my life is not about Christ, then I cannot expect anything to go right. Now,
Okay.
does that mean
Well,
with Christ it's not going to go, you're not going to have
Okay.
those tough times? No, but
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And there's this book called Love Styles, and it goes deeper. I'm gonna take a little bit deeper than what she's saying. You have things that you call imprints on you, and what an imprint can be is if you were molested, say by someone when you were young, and then you grow up and you're defensive to that, and you're gonna have an imprint, and that's gonna affect how you love and what you do in your life.
if you haven't gotten help.
If you haven't gotten help for it. Or if you've been beat by your child, or you had a father that all he did was yell and scream at you, never gave you a hug, never did anything, you're going to approach your relationships like that because that's all you know. So how you love is going to be imprinted, and that's going to how you're going to face that person in life, because you can only deal with what you know until you find and change it a different way.
Okay.
Those of us who are you love, and sometimes your parents could be too much. They too loved you and coddled you too much, so now you want to love and coddle your wife too much.
Well,
and she like, I wasn't raised like that.
I get
so
that.
it's those imprints that were put on you, and that affects how you have your relationships and how you deal with other
and we
people.
kind of touched on that yesterday when I was saying that perception is 100% reality. How one sees something it's real to them, and you can't change.
Yeah, you talking about the nasty cornbread?
Yeah. you can't change that. But this is kind of where I was going with that. I have seen relationships, and I keep trying to pull away from the whole love aspect and just concentrate on the relationship.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I have seen relationships, just like I said, I've seen people go to work for 15 years in a job they don't like. I've seen people live in a home for 15, 20, 25 years, and I've never seen them be affectionate with each other. I've even seen one in which the man and the woman slept in different rooms.
Yeah.
Okay?
I've seen it too.
I've seen that. So what I'm saying is this. To have a relationship, my basic point is, you do not have to have love. But there are two things that must be present. Now, what you guys are saying is to have a good relationship, to be fulfilled in your relationship, to have that person and you two work together compatibly and fulfill each other. yeah, that is a very good explanation of a relationship that is love filled, that is centered on love. But not all relationships are centered on love. Some relationships are even centered on goals, where the people don't even share the same emotional connection, but they have the same financial prowess. They want to make as much money as they can. They don't care if they sleep together ever again. They want to make sure the grandkids and the kids are taken care of for future generations.
So you talking about Trump and his wife?
You know what? I'm not going to get political on here because I don't know about Trump or his wife.
Hey,
and I don't know.
Look, that's what I mean. That's a perfect example of it. I mean, that's what when you say something like that.
Let me tell you something.
I see that.
When he goes in his room and shuts his door, what goes on between him and that woman, I have no idea. But go ahead.
But maybe I was thinking about what Mike was saying about imprints, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the reason why maybe you feel that it's just time and money is because either you imprinted wrong or you were imprinted differently or whatever. So maybe if you had that money and that time, would your perception be different?
Okay, let me answer this question. I got you. And I want you guys to answer me this honestly. Can love exist when you take one of those aspects away?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, can a relationship last without love without time or money?
Yes. A military
Okay.
man goes away from his wife. He's out doing military. He ain't able to spend all the time with us. Wife back home is faithful, is taking care of him. You know, it can still work out.
Interesting. Hold on. Let me get on that.
Yeah.
That's very interesting because he is sacrificing time for money.
Mm-hmm.
The two are still present.
No, he's sacrificing time for our country
Yeah.
and his wife and child.
Yeah, but he's not doing it for free.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand.
Well, ain't nobody gonna do it for free. I mean, we ain't about
Hold up, because if nobody's doing it for free,
Uh-huh.
because the way that we're looking at it, and if love is just that, then that means that we could deplete both accounts, or at least just one account, and the relationship would be stable.
But
hold on.
But the money.
Go ahead.
But if he was single, he was still gonna need that money, though.
A relationship is not built on money.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Money is the root of what?
All evil.
No, that's not right.
Okay,
Let's try that one again.
I'm just saying, like,
The
money,
love of money is the root of all
okay,
evil.
but the way that it seems that you're putting it to me is that these are the two things, and that's the reason why. No, okay. There are instances where you don't have to have anything, but the fact that you love each other so much,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I challenge you guys to show me a relationship where one account has been ultimately depleted and the relationship still consists.
13 years, right here.
Okay, well, hold on. We don't want to get too personal.
Oh, yeah.
But we do. We don't want to get too
Because
personal.
the only way to really understand is to just get real.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
But you saying show
I'm-
you?
no,
You
no.
saying show?
This-
How can I show you
Yeah,
though?
on a general level, because I'm not about to get into my personal
Yeah,
But my
love
thing
life.
is that
How can
don't
we
get
show you?
personal. How do people know and how do people learn if you don't have that
I get that.
that share, right?
But what I'm saying is this. Show me an account where time is at a zero and the relationship is still there. I'm talking about zero.
But give me
Or the opposite.
I've heard of
What's the
many
reason why?
accounts where the husband and wife went through financial hardship and had to work themselves out of that financial hardship. I'm talking about being on, having to go get some food stamps, having to get going because both of them lost their jobs at the same time.
So they need to
having
go
to
get
sell,
what?
Having to
Money,
sell
right?
stuff.
Got you. Go
They
ahead.
needed to go get food stamps. Food stamps ain't money. They need to eat.
Oh, okay.
Money, but you're saying money, that's for anybody, because can't none of us survive without money. So you kind of loop money into relationships, so you can loop it into a relationship with yourself. So what if you ain't gonna have no money? What you gonna do with yourself? So your argument about the relationship and money, you're saying that's the root of everything. But if you was broke, you would still love yourself, wouldn't you?
Well, I wouldn't.
If you was-
of course, I would love my.
Okay,
Listen,
yeah,
I would
okay.
love myself.
Yeah.
I would love.
When you look in the mirror, it's like, Terry, you ain't got no money. Everybody on top. Well, you ain't got no money, Terry.
And that's a good point. But if I love myself, guess what I'm going to be trying to get?
So,
I ain't going to be happy that I ain't got no
you're
money.
You're trying to support yourself and take care
Right.
of yourself. You need money to do that. Just like a
Exactly.
man is trying to support his family. and his
Exactly.
wife. Just like a wife is trying to support his family. and his
Exactly.
wife. But that's not the foundation. You're trying to make money and you're trying to make time.
I'm
the
trying
foundation.
to make. Hold on. I'm trying to make. Let me tell you something. And most women and almost any woman out there will tell you this. If you do not spend time with the woman, she thinks that you're not concerned.
That's not true.
That you're not interested in her.
That's not true.
If you spend zero time with her, it's hard to spend
I
zero.
being a married man, my wife want me to spend time with her.
Period.
She
I
do.
sometimes don't want to be bothered.
No. That I don't understand it sometimes. But what I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. If you spend zero time with an individual, that relationship is going to start to suffer.
Why would you be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't
You don't want to
spend
spend
time
time
with you?
with you. Yeah.
Wow. Now that's deep. Now we're on the flip side because now you're saying, well, it's not really that big of a deal. But why would you even be in a
Well,
relationship?
you said you couldn't have a relationship without time. I'm saying sometimes time is taken away, and you can still have a good relationship. You trying to flip it, or you trying to flip it?
The reason why I'm saying that is because what I'm saying is I'm looking at the extreme, and I'm saying if we deplete one of those accounts, can a relationship exist? I'm not saying whether or not it'll be stable, if you'll get over it. I'm saying, can it exist?
Yeah, because
Okay.
by the example that you just gave me, if two people saying they're getting together and they're basically saying, hey, we're making good money, so we're not going to break up. We're going to sleep in different rooms. They ain't giving each other no time, but they still got that relationship that
Living
you were
together,
talking about.
there's still time.
Yeah, it's not time if you were living in the house and you ain't seeing that person. They ain't together. What do you mean by time? Because time is, like me and you, we've been spending time here today doing this whole podcast together. That's time. If I was to come over your house and you was to go in your room and I'm chilling here hanging out, that ain't time together.
That
Right?
is still time.
That's still time.
Yes, it is. It's not time in your face,
Yeah,
but it's still time.
Yeah, all right.
Because I know where you're at.
But I think
If
you
a woman
change
is in
your
a
definition of time,
why you say that?
because to me, sometimes time is just you being alone.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is in that time with that person, and I
You
don't
like
mean
sitting right next to him.
no.
Okay, so what do you mean?
No.
Like,
So if there are two people that are living in a house together, they're spending time together. Now, whether or not they're actively in each other's face, it's much different than if this man didn't live in that house and he lived across town.
That
So
means
is
we're
this
spending
like a
time with the whole world because everybody's got
Not
cause
necessarily.
time is forever. I mean,
Not
I don't get
necessarily.
what you're saying.
Not
but are we
necessarily.
talking about in a marriage? Are we talking about just to hook up, like it's time for you to take a shower?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's.
That was-
Hold on. I'm gonna have to. I see right now. I'm gonna have to break it down to its most a basic stage.
Yeah,
here.
talk to me like I'm a sixth grader.
Right.
Okay. If me as a person, and I'm going to graduate from this in a second here,
Okay.
but if me as a person, okay, depleted the account of spending time, let's say that there was a woman that I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call her. I don't talk to her. I don't visit her. I haven't seen her in ages, but I'm in a relationship with her.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. Now, let me say this. We're in a relationship, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys are both married. Let's say when you were courting your wife or your husband was courting you, every time you guys went out, he had zero money. Nothing. But he said, baby, you know what? I love you to death. I'm crazy about you. If you were to tell your wife, every time y'all went out, she had to pay for dinner, had to pay all the bills, and he came home and said, you know what, baby, I just adore you. I love you. Given what we're talking about here, that relationship should be able to stand up just on the sheer fact that he loves her. Mm-hmm. But he refuses, absolutely stands on top of not spending any money on her.
See, you're going to extremes.
Okay.
You're going to far extremes.
On your first date,
I mean,
on your first date,
you
you better come out the pocket with something, and you a man. Because you're going to be looked at extremely weird.
It seems like a man has to be the one.
No, I'm not saying that. If a man courts a woman in this day and age, if a man courts a woman on that first, second, or third date, are you telling me here, Sister Saint Catherine, that you would not, your antennas wouldn't be up at all?
My thing is like,
right on for joining us, Adam.
I don't need a man to pay for my first date because I'm about to get real full. Do you want to get full too? Because I can pay for our date. I don't need anybody to pay for my date.
So this.
I'm just saying.
So you're gonna pay for the man.
I don't mind paying for the man. I don't need a man to pay me.
Okay. So the first 5 dates he ain't paid for nothing. You're okay with that?
I'm fine with that. What's wrong with me providing the first 5 dates?
Okay, so hold on. Let's stop here. Let's
stop here. First 5 dates.
Hold on.
She's gonna eat good and she can pay for me and him.
All right, my first 5 dates.
Do you think that's practical?
Let's look at the comments.
Do you think that's practical?
That's Adam on there.
Let me see what the comments say.
What do y'all think?
I do. And I want to ask y'all that question. Does it take
Look at
she lying. Hey, but let me ask y'all.
I don't love my job, but I love the money.
Yeah.
So we got a whole bunch of that's Think Plenty on here. Think Plenty says I don't love my money, but I don't love my job, but I love the money. Exactly. And that's why I say that's a relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's time and money.
Yeah.
Because you spend time there and they give you money. The less time you spend with your spouse, it should be spent what? Getting money. Because if you're spending time away from your spouse and you're just you're not at work and you're coming home, let me break this down. You coming home at 10, 11 o'clock at night. But I love you, baby. You just, you all right with me. I ain't worried about you. Oh, he loves me. Hey, where was he at all day?
But we don't. So
he was at work.
So
he wasn't.
But how many of us know? But some of us know that exact same relationship where the dude ain't doing nothing. The wife is out all day. He out and about. And he come home and she still love him and still stick in that relationship, even if he ain't giving her time and money, but she love him. That happens.
How long
I just talked to a female earlier tonight that told me these exact words that say she can't talk about relationships because she keep going back to the same man that's doing her wrong year after year, month after month. So if he ain't giving her the time and he ain't giving her the money, then the only thing she got left for him is love.
Okay.
What? What did somebody say?
So you think that she just? No, I wasn't looking at that.
Oh.
Now you're saying that she loves him, but he's not exchanging any money or time.
Yeah, he's
absent.
You know, in the hood, you seen that.
He's absent.
He absent. When she at work, she playing video games. She getting ready to be off work. He go to the homie's house, and then she get back home. She cooking dinner. He ain't paying rent. And he ain't doing anything. Now it ain't gonna last for a long time, but But she loves him enough to stay in that relationship with him.
But let me say something. Mm-hmm. The reason why that is a relationship because again, there is time and money being spent. Maybe not by him. Mm-hmm. But by her.
So what else is he providing for her?
Sometimes he's providing a sense of stability.
I think that there might be just a different sense of comfort for her. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Sometimes a horrible man is better than not
having one at all.
I mean, you're right.
Here's another thing. Maybe for her, it's not a bad thing. You know, maybe for her, this is okay for her.
Because she don't want to be around a Negro anyway.
I don't know. I can't really speak on
it. If you're living with a Negro that plays video games all day, and then when you get home from work, he leaves, you got something going on.
But the thing is that if that's what we can't always think that everybody's idea of a relationship is one where both are going to work.
Yeah,
we got one
come
helping with
on.
homework. We got one reading stories, cleaning. Like everybody's
Their relationship
What-
is how they was raised to view a relationship. So we can go back to imprint. What was you raised to see a relationship as? And that's what you're going to see the relationship.
Okay.
Regardless if it's time, money, whatever it is, whatever you was raised to see the relationship as, that's how you're going to see it. That's how you're going to view it.
Code the Empress, want to thank you for joining us today. I also want to send a shout out to Andwele. Enjoyed the show yesterday as well.
Man, that's my dog.
So check this out. What I'm basically trying to get at here, is that just like communication. So they say, what is the key to a relationship? What is the key to a relationship, a good relationship? Communication. That's nonsense. I don't believe that. Because we are always communicating.
No, because
No, hold on. Let me finish.
But see,
Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Communication is the exchange of information between two people. That can be done non-verbally. You're always communicating something. So the key to a relationship cannot be communication because you'll always be communicating. There can be bad communication. F you, I don't like you, you can kiss my A.
But
You're going to tell me that that's going to be a key to a community?
But that's a relationship, but it's not a good relationship.
No, but the adage, the old adage always says.
So if you're saying, can you have a relationship with somebody? Yeah, there's several different type of relationships. You
Right.
can have a relationship with somebody beat you up every day.
Well, what
you
I'm
can
saying
have a
is the
relationship with
communication
somebody
piece.
where somebody cheats on you. You can have a relationship. There's so many type of relationships that you can have. But I guess I keep go back to what I'm looking from my standpoint is how do you have a good relationship? Because if you have a bad relationship from somebody, you're gonna shake them eventually.
That's true. But what I was getting at was the communication piece. Where they say communication is the key to a relationship.
It is a key to relationship.
No, you're always communicating.
Because if it's a bad communication, you gone. It's the key to making you gone. If it's good communication, you stay.
So
it's
then,
the key to making you stay.
This is my next question. So then what is the key to a good relationship?
The key to the good relationship?
Yeah.
You go get bad, and I'm going to tell you.
What is it? Okay. And that's in your estimation.
Yeah.
So that's your key to a good relationship.
love. God is love.
Okay.
I have to go back to what
I know. I can't go off of what I don't
I
know.
have to go back to who
Now, why are you going to
created-
say I'm going to get mad? I just try to be fair to other
I have
people
to-
that are
Yeah,
listening.
I know. I ain't saying you gonna get mad, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because we done told you this from the beginning.
Okay.
I feel like it's love, right? And the only way that you can have a stable relationship is by love. Because that same love is gonna be to the point where if I love you, yeah, you might say some things, you might do some things, I might not talk to you for a couple days, but my love is what's gonna bring me back to you at the end of the day.
Love is so
Okay,
basic.
hold on,
Love
hold on.
is so basic and true
We
that you got to show your dog, your pet, love
Hold
in
on.
order to have a good
Hold
relationship.
on, we want to welcome to the show right now. We have an anonymous caller.
Hey, baby, let's see what the anonymous caller got to say.
we want to see what this anonymous caller has to say to us today. Hello? Okay. So we didn't get him in here. Hold on one second. Let's see if we can get them back on the line. I think they want to jump in, and I told you to come jump in. Give us a call if you want to jump in on this conversation. Give us a call. Today we're going to open up calls. Okay, here we go. Let's go here. So this is our anonymous caller.
So I want to say that key to a relationship, all relationships need three components.
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, and what are those three components? Our caller says that the relationship's going to need three components. What components are these?
Intimacy,
Intimacy,
commitment, and passion.
intimacy, commitment, and passion.
If one of these is missing, your relationship is not balanced.
The relationship is not balanced. Now that's funny that you say that because Cole the Empress, she chimed in and she said that she needs balance in her life.
Yeah, that's balance.
If you need balance in your life, that's something that you bring in your life. No one else can bring you balance. I can't balance you if you're not balanced.
Okay.
Yeah, that goes back to knowing who you are.
Okay, and that goes back to our guest. What's that?
But I know people want to say God is part of that. God is only part of that if you believe in God. If you don't believe in God, you can still have a relationship.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's true.
that's true.
Okay. So you can have a good relationship without believing in God.
Yes, if you think about those three things, intimacy, and not just sexually intimate, but even
Intimacy,
on a mental level.
intimacy,
Spiritual,
love.
mental, physical. You have to have commitment. You have to have two people who are willing to be in a relationship and committed to that relationship. And you have to have passion. You can't just be a robot in a relationship. You have to be passionate about being in a relationship. If one of those three things is missing, you're not going to have a good relationship. Period.
Okay. Okay. Now, do you speak from experience?
I speak from experience.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, I just want to, before I let you off this line, I want to ask you something.
Why are you looking at me like that when you ask the question? Go ahead. Now I'm curious. Why are you looking at me
I
like
want to
that?
ask you a question. Do you think in a relationship money has anything to do with it?
It depends. It depends on the type of people you have. I think it does in our culture. In American culture, absolutely. There's some countries you can go to where that doesn't matter as much, but here in this culture, it absolutely does.
Okay, now what and before I let you off the line here, what I wanted to also say with money, I don't mean necessarily tangible, but I mean money or / resources. I would use those interchangeably. That you have to have some type of resource, even if you're in some grass hut in a village.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You got to be going out hunting antelope. You can't just sit around the hut all day.
Yeah, but I mean that to me that's taking care of.
Hey, thanks a lot for your call. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
All right.
And resource to me would be different too. Like if you said money. So I
Well,
didn't think resource.
to me, I would exchange money with resources.
Yeah.
So there has to.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Let's say I have a cousin, my favorite cousin,
Okay.
and we have a relationship.
An intimate relationship?
No,
Oh.
we have a.
Kiss the
I
cousin.
ain't that type of cousin. I ain't that type of cousin now. All right. I think that those resources and time must be spent for me to have a relationship, even with my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to look at what is being expended just for you. Let's say just for you to be, or just for you to go around that person or to enjoy that person. There has to be some.
Yeah, you got to spend time with somebody to do that.
And there also has to be some resources that are used.
Yeah, cousin, we gonna get together. If you got a cousin you gonna drink with, you gonna drink with them. You got a cousin that cooks some good food, they gonna cook some good food with them.
I would
So
be that cousin.
yeah,
So what I'm saying is this again, you guys, and I hope I'm not beating a dead horse. What did I do here? And I hope I'm not beating a dead horse, but that's why I believe that resource / in time is extremely, not just, I wouldn't say it's important, but it's critical to the functionality of a relationship in and of itself. Because I cannot deplete either of those and still have a relationship. My thing and my point again, I'm going to
you can't deplete them because there's things that happen. If you don't have, somebody ain't gonna have all the luxurious resources. I mean, so then you may have minimal resources, and somebody else may have a huge resources. But I guess it gets.
But you're gonna say I'm being extreme if I say that. What if they just non-exist? You deplete it. When I say deplete, I mean at a zero account.
They ain't bringing in nothing but. I see people on the streets and living in tent city, and they living and sharing a tent. They ain't got no money. They ain't got no house.
They sharing a what though?
But they sharing a tent.
Okay, that's a resource.
Okay. So you just go for anything.
Hey, I have
Your
to.
argument is so broad. I mean,
Hey,
you all over the place.
I have to say that
You
though.
like Max Kellerman on first take. You just all over the place.
Hey, I have to say that.
Anything.
I have to say that. And this is the reason why I have to say that. It's because you know what? If I'm a bum, I'm at least bringing a candy bar or something to the tent.
Yeah.
I gotta bring some soups or some sandwiches or something. Like, baby, you know what? Here you go. Or she gonna find a better bum.
Not necessarily, but if she go out and she bringing that to you.
Oh, hey.
I mean,
But-
just real talk. Some of those bums work harder than some people that do have actual homes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Well, and it's funny that our caller called in and said that intimacy and commitment and passion were important in a functional or a good relationship. Me myself, I would take those things, but what I think and what I see as a single man, and maybe that's why I don't, I'm not technically tied to anyone, is because I believe that, first of all, a goal is extremely important. And I think very few relationships start out establishing a goal between the two.
That's definitely true.
They don't. So they don't know what it is that they're actually fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing a whole lot of work for nothing. And number two, for me, I don't believe communication is a key to a relationship. I think conflict resolution is the key to the relationship. How do you
communicate the correct way? That's still communication.
But how do you process conflict? Because like I said, and I learned, in school, that communication is happening at all times.
Yeah.
There's never a time that you're not communicating.
Yeah. So
just
saying,
basic communication.
Yeah, but you're being so broad with
Mhm.
everything. I mean, you're just brushing. You're just like, I mean, come on, man. I mean, yes, you got to have conflict resolution. If you have no conflict resolution, it's bad communication. Does communication go on all the time? Yes. Do we breathe air all the time? Yes. Can we not breathe if we don't have air? No. Can we not live? No. So you're so broad with what you're saying that it's not that you can make any argument because you're being so broad.
Not necessarily. You know why? Because whenever you make an absolute statement, it has to be consistent across the board. You can't make an absolute statement and say, oh, but there's this caveat to it. Oh, but there's this to
Man,
it.
you don't throw out 150 caveats
There is
in less than 42 minutes.
There are no caveats.
Yeah, they are caveats.
Which one?
Because you saying time, but you saying we're saying you're not defining what it is. You're just using time as a whole. It's all encompassing, and you're all encompassing communication now, and you're all encompassing money. And you're so
hold on. So you're saying that I'm all encompassing time. I'm saying that time is what? Time is time spent with someone. Period.
Yeah. But
okay, that's not all
It's
encompassing.
what kind
that's
of
specific.
Time. It's what kind of time. No, it's not, because time is a general statement.
It's
the kind of time. It's what you're doing with that time and how you're spending that time with somebody. Because if I spend my time beating you, to me, if I spend the time and I'm getting slapping my wife, then that's not a relationship.
Yes, it is. It's not a good one.
It's not a relationship.
It is a relationship.
I can't define that.
It is a relationship.
I guess my mind don't define that as a relationship.
Oh, it's definitely a relationship.
That's a
It's a
beatdown.
relationship if you're getting beat up.
Yeah. It's not a good one.
That's abuse.
Yeah.
It is. It's not a good relationship, but you guys, let's look at this. Let's look at this key point here.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? How do you see? Because like I say, perception is 100% of reality. We could be arguing two different words. We could be arguing two concepts or three concepts with the same word.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is the definition of relationship? For you.
Of a relationship,
For you.
For my definition of relationship is basically you're taking the time and you're giving someone, you're giving them your love, you're giving them your time, you're giving them your intimacy, and that could be with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. You're sharing a part of yourself with that person, and it's a wholesome sharing. Like you're talking to,
This is a long definition.
Yeah.
So could you give me the Reader Digest?
Relationship.
Give me the Reader Digest version.
To me, a relationship is two people mutually coming together and sharing great experience with each other and showing love and passion with each other and coming together as one. And that's the idea if I'm talking about
Okay,
marriage.
so that's what you see.
That's
So,
what I see as a
like I said,
relationship.
our concepts might have been conflicting.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and how do you understand a relationship? What is your
I have a
definition?
relationship, just based off of what I have right now.
Yeah, can only go what I got right now.
My definition of a relationship is, man, somebody who buys me tacos.
Nice.
Somebody who cares about me.
Yeah.
Somebody who lets me be me, whether that's me laughing, bothering them, just letting me just be who I am and being okay with that. Somebody who, lets me pass gas and doesn't like run out the room because they. No, that's
That's
relationship
real.
to me.
I mean, that's
I'm
real.
gonna keep it real.
On the marriage part.
Okay, I'm just saying. Like, I should be able to, like, burp, whatever it is. I'm just going to keep it 100. To me, that's a good relationship. Anybody that can deal with that at the end of the day, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
so
and I'm going to let you do your thing. You can burp, you can pass gas, whatever you got to do. You just got to keep it real.
Yeah.
okay, what if I took this out and you guys tell me now what is your definition? If I take this out? If I take this element out?
All right.
If I take the word good relationship and I take the word bad relationship out of it, now tell me, I'm not talking about good or bad. Now tell me, what is a relationship?
I can be myself.
What's a relationship? Being you.
I get to
Being-
be myself.
Being
Okay.
around others and being yourself.
Anytime that you get to
Okay.
be yourself, because guess what?
Okay.
You're
I
you.
mean,
Like,
I
if I
guess
can be myself,
I guess I can somewhat go with that. For me, and that's why I said we could have been arguing different concepts, because for me, a relationship is if you look at the root word of relationship, is what? Relate.
Yeah.
So for me, relationship is how people or entities respond to each other. How people or entities respond to each other. Because you have a relationship with your job. You might have a relationship with the mailman. You might have a relationship.
I do with Amazon.
There you go. You have a relationship. I said, like I said,
much.
people or entities. You have a good business relationship with, your business partners. That's a relationship. That's a business style relationship. So I just think that, but not all of that. I don't think.
Let me give you the dictionary definition.
Okay, thank you.
I like to go to the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected.
That's basically what I just said. I said how people or entities relate, how they exchange whatever between the two of them. But you see, with that definition, with that Webster's definition, we didn't hear nothing about no love, no none of that. Could you read that for me one more time?
Okay, but it does. Okay, it says the state of being connected by blood or marriage, the way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave toward each other,
Right. So stop right there.
an
The way-
emotion and a sexual association between two people.
Right. So it's how two people relate towards each other, and that's kind of what I wanted to get
Yeah,
at.
and to me, it's
That's basic.
It's
That's
a
super
very,
basic.
I'm gonna say it's a very secular view.
It's a definition.
It's a secular view.
Like our callers said, it's a secular view right along with our idea of money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can put on these rose-colored glasses, but if you do live in America, money's gonna play a big part. Do you know that is the number one reason? No, the number one reason why most relationships break down or don't work. There was a study done, and I think it was, I think the Wall Street Journal actually put it out, and they said that the number one thing missing from most relationships was appreciation. The one party or the other didn't feel appreciated.
And say thank you.
Well, I don't know if thank you is always appreciation.
Okay, so I've been doing a study of family dynamics. I'm gonna go back to the imprints. That's what that's what on the surface. But what she originally said in the beginning, the reason why people break up is because they don't understand themselves.
Mhm.
And because if you understand who you are,
Mhm.
what your triggers are, what makes you as yourself tick,
Mhm.
then you won't hold that other person accountable for the reason why you're acting the way that you're acting. You're going to get to the root of why certain things they do get on your nerves and why
Right.
you handle that situation in such a different way. Then, because somebody could go in and get your iced tea out the refrigerator and you go absolutely ape crazy because you ain't used to having nothing of your own because you grew
Okay.
up like that.
Okay.
Versus somebody who's always had something of their own and shares it and everything, they're going to respond to that situation differently.
Well, you know what and this is the next point that I wanted to bring up, and I've been beating a dead horse on this one for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
What you brought up just now is the emotional quotient.
It's not emotion. It's
No, hold on. Let
go
me
ahead.
finish. An emotional quotient.
Uh-huh.
When you have someone who has a low emotional IQ,
Mm-hmm.
that is detrimental to a relationship.
Yeah.
When you have two people in a relationship that have a low emotional intelligence, their EQ is very low, it's not going to last long, or it'll be a trash relationship in which they're fighting all the time, backbiting and upset with each other all the time. When I look at the relationships that have lasted the longest and have been somewhat of a display of how a relationship will run or should run, I can see two people with a high emotional intelligence. Taking his tea out of the refrigerator is not going to upset it.
Mhm.
The gentleman that we had seen earlier today, our IT guy, very high emotional quotient. I can see that, he's patient.
Yeah.
Listen, if you just give me a minute, damn it.
I'm glad you said that because what love is patient,
Love
is
is
kind,
kind. Love is
love is true.
long suffering.
Yeah, long suffering.
Correct.
All those things.
Not boastful.
So
Right.
you're kind of thanks for proving our point that
What
we've
is
been
that?
trying to bring into you since the beginning.
What's that?
That one of the key ingredients to a relationship is love. You just brought it full circle.
Well, I
because
would've-
that act that you seen that he displayed was an emotional intelligence and a love for his wife.
Right.
Because he may not have been that originally when they first got married, but he learned to build that love for her and they learned to respect each other. And now,
okay.
if she does break wind, like she said earlier, do something like that or clowning, he has such a high emotional intelligence because he's been through the fire with her and he
I don't
loves
know
her.
things.
But
And he loves her.
again,
that he's gonna bring
again,
that.
but what
Thank you for
I
proving
will
my
say
point.
this: I wouldn't say that it was a proven point
It
because
was. I
what you're
was.
saying is a relationship. Basically, you're saying a good relationship, and there's a difference between a relationship and a good relationship.
And let me say this.
But who would want to be in a companies don't even be in they're in relationships with each other, and if they ain't good, they break it
Well, let's
up.
just look at what Think Plenty said. She said, "I don't love my job, but I
Yeah.
do love the money."
Yeah, she loved the money, but if
But
you,
she don't love that
yeah,
job.
she don't love
And
the
then,
job.
With the emotional quotient, he's very, the IT guy is very patient, but that's just the IT guy's personality.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is that if I told you not to touch my
Mhm.
tea, and you go in there and you drink the last one after I took it out the freezer and it has slushy in it in the fridge, yes, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Because my whole entire
Yeah,
job
but you
was
can
waiting
be
for that.
pissed. But if you go left with it, that's
But
what I'm talking
if I
about.
go left with it, that's just who I am.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go left. Don't touch my tea.
Well, I hear that a lot in relationships, and I hear people say that a lot.
yeah.
They say that's just who I am.
It
I
is.
said,
Just like
that
the
may
IT
be
guy. That's just who he is.
that there. But let me say this,
Okay.
and I'm going to say this to some of the people watching today. That may be who you are, but there are several versions of who you are,
Absolutely.
and you can choose from a plenty
Which
of them.
one?
And because I've had to live with several different versions of myself,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I have felt better about myself when I picked the best version.
yeah.
Because I've heard people say, "Oh, well, I'm just like my daddy."
Mm.
When he
I-
when he go all I
Yeah,
go all I get
yeah.
that from him.
Or you just like your dad. That's why
Yeah,
y'all don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
along. Yeah, all that.
And then I kind of look at it too, like if I'm just a rude dirtbag, I'm just a rude dirtbag. Like it's not even if it's whether it's intentional or not intentional. If I'm not a good person, I'm just not a good person.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we covered a little bit of ground here, right?
Yeah.
Well, I say we covered a lot actually.
Yeah.
But I think I gave the audience a little something to chime in, or at least to keep those or to get those wheels turning as far as a relationship. Some things I didn't touch on today that we probably should touch on here in the near future is the breakdown of the black family and the black home, because that's very important right now. There are young men out here, and I just want to reiterate this fact. There are young black men out here dying right now due to lack of love, and young women due to lack of love. And there are women who are at home right now hurting because the black man doesn't want to step up and be
But hold on.
who he should be.
They're not just hurting because he's not being who he should be. I don't ever want there to be like a significance to where like sometimes I think your view is like, oh, the man, because he's not who he is, she is hurting. Well, no, because she can stand on her own. Okay, it would be nice if he was doing what he was doing, vice versa. It would be nice if she was doing what she was doing. But I don't want to put it to where the man is here, the woman is here waiting for him to do his thing, and then she's gonna be happy. Like no.
In our culture, in the African American culture, 66% of children are born without a father. And when I say hurting, I mean this: there aren't enough black men that are worth anything right now, as far as a relationship is concerned, a good relationship is concerned, to go around. And that's why I say hurting.
And that's why there's white men and Asian men and Latinx men. Like there's a totally different. It doesn't have to be just black men. There could be a
So
plethora of
the
men.
black women should start dating Asians?
If they feel the need to date an Asian, I think they should date an Asian.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm just saying, like, it's not just the black.
However,
man.
here at Mike and Mike Radio, we with Mamere Radio, we focus on the African American community only because it hasn't been focused on in a long time. So I do understand that there are legitimate white men, good white men out there. I know a lot of and Hispanic,
Yeah, all of them.
right. But what I'm saying is, for our people, and I'm concentrating on our people, we need to get our act together as a people, and our men need to be men.
Yeah.
They need to be men. And when I say that, I'm talking about they need to work, they need to provide for their home, they need to provide for their children, they need to raise these black men not to go out and murder each other. I mean, there's a lot of things that the black man has to offer.
But I'll go back to the imprint. If the home you came from, that's all you know. There was no man in that home to give you an example of what a good man is like. There was no man around to show you that. You have to be taught that, and you have to be shown that. Now, are those few that can get out and teach it to themselves, but you still have to find out what that imprint is. You grew up in a chaotic home and like that, and grew up were a victim, and you grew up like that, and only the men that you seen were dope dealers and drug dealers and everything. It's gonna be very hard for you to rise up from that, from that, and become the type of man that you're talking about right now.
Okay.
And then that goes all to systemic racism, and we got a whole nother conversation that we can have another time here on Mike and Mike. But that's a whole nother thing. But I just want you to go ahead and admit that I was right from the beginning, and you proved my love point.
You are absolutely right. And like I said from the beginning, I can't change one's perception. So if you feel like if that's reality to you, if you made your point, then hey, that's all that matters.
We're gonna agree to disagree.
I don't even know what that means. I've heard it a couple times, but I have no idea what that means. Once again, Jessica, we want to thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much.
You had some very valuable things to add to the group here today. We want to also thank all the people that are watching, also from out of town. We have a lot of people that have logged in, have asked me questions. I want to send some shots out to my brother Joseph, aka Broseph, because he's been tuning in to the show. We got Temple down there in Texas has been tuning into the show. We want to appreciate you as well. We got Rodney out in Virginia. We have a friend that called in today. And we want to appreciate all of you guys for calling in, for listening, and for supporting the podcast and the live video stream. We're going to be getting better. We're still doing some upgrades on our studio, but once we get everything complete and down, but we don't want to starve you guys with the information that we promised to bring you. So Mike will always be a entertaining guest, and we will always have
guest. I'm the co-host.
I'm sorry.
Mike will always be.
We're gonna have to edit. We're gonna have to edit that out.
But that was the guest for today.
Yeah. It's kind of like you guys were on the same page. But Mike will also always be a entertaining co-host. He's been such a big help to me. I don't know if there was anybody else that you wanted to go ahead and shoot out today as far as the black-owned businesses go. Because I always try to get somebody in there.
I want to shoot out of black-owned businesses. A lot of people don't know about it. It's Jabo's Barbecue. It's off of I-25, right off on the Arapahoe Road. Just look it up, Jabo's, Jabos. Great barbecue. The guy has won many awards and everything. They're a small business out there, and go black-owned and operated. Stop by them and have some of that great barbecue.
Do you have any black-owned businesses that you want to shoot out, or? Okay. All right. And for myself, again, I'm still waiting on some information. You know who I'm talking to. Send me that information so I can get some of your merchandise, put it on the show, advertise that, and shoot it out to the black community. Again, we're here to love, support, and protect each other. You guys love each other and take care of each other and yourselves. You guys have a good one.
All right, last shout out to my wifey. I'm coming home. I love you. I'm going to spend time with you. And, of course, I'm always going to spend money on you, baby. Because I love you. All right, I'm out.
Okay, you're off now. Wait.
Hold on.